Good day everyone, I'm Geraldine Abraham. Today I'm tackle about fire hazard. Fire hazards includes all types of life flames, causes a spark, hot object, and chemical and potential for ignitions, or that aggravate a fire to become large and uncontrolled. Fire hazard also called all types of potential threats to fire prevention practices, firefighting, building fire safety system, and situations that restrict and skip and of people for the affected building or area. Even of a fire. Fire, fire hazards pose threats of life to life and property. Therefore, the prime object of safety system to detect, remove, or reduce the risk of fire trended by these potential hazards. So the fire hazards are also broad category. It includes which impedes and functions the fire protection materials or equipment, as well as anything that inhibits fire safety behavior. For instance, which safe evacuation and malfunctioning sprinkler system would both be considered fire hazards. It's because a facility level or risk factor in both the probability that a fire will occur and the severity of the potential harm that could be caused by a fire. And so also be considered a hazard in the context but be seen as non-hazardous in other lower risk environment. For example, in occupational environments that requires the use of heat or flame, the use of non-fire resistant clothing would be considered hazardous. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Diana Vistilo, the second facilitator, and now I will discuss the common fire hazards. Did you know? Citing the latest data, Chief NFP Jacqueline Ortega, City Fire Marshal, said they recorded a total of 184 incidents in 2020 from 337 incidents in 2019. And Anali Carvajal Atienza, spokesperson of BFP, said open flame due to torch, unattended cooking and light candles, electrical connection, and light cigarette butts are some of the main causes of fire incidents in 2020. Last year, around 14,000 cases of blaze were reported. And now we will discuss the common fire hazards. Common fire hazards are found in the most occupancies and are not associated with any special occupancy. Smoking, trash, electrical appliances, storage, and heating are common to most occupancy types. However, smoke-free workplaces are making smoking a less common problem. The following fire hazards are common at home, in public places, transports, and workplace. First, we have all types of flames used for any work. The flame is visible portion of the fire. Flames consist primarily of carbon dioxide, water vapor, oxygen, and nitrogen. If hot enough, the gases may become ionized to produce a plasma. Second, we have electric wires, higher loads, lost connections, and old electrical equipment. Example of this is in one extension, daghay ng saksak, so mabuto siya and it will cause also fire. Next, we have all cooking and heat generating appliances. So example of this if the person forgot to look sa iya kiluto, then he didn't notice that the fire is increasing and it will result a large fire. So this situation are common fire hazards in the Philippines. Next we have all works and situations where fire is essential, such as welding, cutting, metal casting, and etc. Next, we have improper storage of tools, equipment, and items during and at the end of the day. So, example of this is the wire, extension wire, flames, and other equipment are forgot to put in proper places, and in this case, it will result a fire. Next, we have smoking and personal lighters and matches. This is a common fire hazard, particularly in our country, where there have been numerous cases of fire caused by smoking and lighters. Therefore, children in particular should not be allowed to play with matches or candles if there is no adult present to supervise them. Next, we have fireworks, pyrotechnics, ammunition, and explosives. These fire hazards are common during Christmas and New Year in public places. Next, we have improper and unauthorized storage of flammable and hazardous materials and chemicals, especially the flammable ones. Then we have insufficient capacity and numbers of emergency exits and stairs. This is common in mall, hotel, home, and more. Next, we have hindrance to sight or reach firefighting equipment, markings, and alarm systems. Insufficient numbers and types of fire extinguishers. Then, absence of fire detection and alarm systems. And last, violation of building and fire codes. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm your next facilitator, Endri B. Areglado, and I'm tasked to answer 3 questions regarding the two great films entitled The Towering Inferno and The Ladder 49. But before that, I will be sharing to you a brief summarization of these two great films. So to start, Towering Inferno is a classic 1970s disaster movie about a fire that breaks out in a state-of-the-art San Francisco high-rise building during the opening ceremony attended by a host of A-list guests. Yes, this film is all about the sudden fire breaks out during the premiere party of the world's tallest skyscraper named the Grenfell Tower. Next, we have The Ladder 49. This American drama film is made on 2004 and directed by Jay Russell. It narrates the heroics of fictional Baltimore firefighter Jack Morrison, who is trapped inside a burning warehouse with a broken leg after he saved one of the civilian inside. Then Jack recollects various events of his life as his friend, as well as his mentor, Deputy Chief Mike Kennedy, negotiate the rescue from without. Though the two films feature different stories of different characters, I think they share the same purposes, which is first, for us to know how brave the firefighters are as they muster their courage in order to help protect and save our lives by stopping the fire. It also shown in the two films what are the precautionary things to do in order to address the fire as safe as possible. So, furthermore, the purpose of the two films also is for us to be knowledgeable on how to prevent fire incident or how to address or stop it in case it will happen. Simba ko lang. So let's start answering the three questions. First is identify the two causes of the fire incident. So the cause of fire incident in the film Towering Inferno is the electrical short or the faulty wirings. This happened because of that corrupt contractor where he didn't use all the budget in building the tower. Then, however, in the film Ladder 49, it doesn't feature there what is the cause of fire incident. So instead, I answered how the fire incident worst. So in the Ladder 49, the fire incident worst when the grain stored in the warehouse exploded. Not just that, but also when if na ay warehouse, so na dyan na yung mga butane, so mga butane, mga gasol, then I think that is also one of the causes that the fire incident in the Ladder 49 became worst.
Good day, everyone. For the continuation of the discussion, I am Angeline Cabalejo and I'm going to discuss it. Fourth, we have calling the fire brigade. It is important that every time there is a fire or we hear the fire, the responsible personnel should needed to inform and call the fire brigade or fire services immediately. They can dial the 911 to report the fire. So always remember that 911 should be used for reporting fire, medical or police emergencies only. So Fire Brigade is an organization that provides firefighting services. It has the jobs on putting out the fires and protecting life and property in the event of fire. So, fire services should also be informed immediately either by switchboard operator or the person discovering the fire. So, depende ra kung sa switchboard operator ba sila ba ang mag-inform sa kuan or ang person nga nakakita sa sunog. So, dependent on conditions. So, we have two conditions. The work time and the other time. So, kung oras pa sa trabaho, ang switchboard operator ang magkuan. So, he need to be familiar with the emergency evacuation plan and also should ensure that necessary extension switch through when switchboard is unattended. So, dapat ensure niya if kato is unattended ra. So, next, we have the other time. So, it is kung lunch break na, like, if wala na ang mga trabahante or gabi na. So, or human na ang oras sa trabaho. It is the remainder of staff or the cleaners, caretakers, and etc. Also, to need to be familiar with procedures. In any case, this must be the senior official should ensure that the fire services has been called. So, if kanina time, humana ang oras sa trabaho, like ang senior official ang mag-ensure na natawagan na ang fire services. Fifth, we have the power or the process isolation. It is a closed-down procedure or design your own closed-down procedure as appropriate to ground setting. So, like every building and every company, like the mall, the hospital, or the school, like they have their own design, they have their own isolations. So, it is really needed that they have that procedures and helping us if kung naay sunog. So, it is really important if they have their own designs of procedures. 6, we have the identification of key escape routes. So, every buildings in every company, like in mall or hospital again, before they open na nila sa people or sa mga tao ang kanang ilabas just like sa mall, i-open na nila. Before that, they prepare or they make sure that they have their own escape routes. Na sila yung mga escape routes. Like, the first floor, they have the fire exit. And second floor, nasa sila yung mga fire exit. So, dapat ilan na i-make sure nga na sila yung mga escape routes sa ilang himo nga building. Like, inana. So, escape routes provide us the guidance. And it should be ensuring nga ma-design siya so that the people can escape quickly enough to ensure that they are not placed in any danger from fire. So, like example in a mall, so there are different people na musuroy sa mall, na musud sa mall, and then there are some are not familiar or wala katuod kung asa dapit ang fire exit. So it is really important that the building or the mall should put a sign, or if that is the fire exit, so they put the running man also, or the sign of fire exit and the entrance, like that. So it is really kanang needed nga dapat ang mall is nasa yung mga sign. Like kanha is if that place is dangerous, so they need to put that a danger sign. So that is really needed para din ma-save sa mga people or sa mga tao, ma-save sila. It is also essential that escape routes and the means provided that they ensure they are used safely and managed and maintained to ensure that they remain usable and available at all times, because it is needed that it is available at all times because we didn't know kung kanus ang mahitabo ang sunog. So, need siyang available siya at all times or every day or every hours. So, it is needed that the escape routes or the fire exits fire exit kay clear and hazard free siya. And also, dapat single way ra siya. So, para di na magtutuyok pa or maglibog ang mga tao. So, para safe kasi sila. So, dapat i-make sure nga ang escape routes is safe for everyone. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, good day. I am Caroline Cagayong and I'm the next reporter. Now, the continuation of Mr. Cabrera's report. The next is training required. Training required is the emergency evacuation plan should be the subject of a frequent training so all students will become familiar with its content and there should be regular drills. Effective fire routine is dependent on regular instruction, training, and practice. Regular drills should be carried out using varying escape routes, assuming the normal evacuation route is not available. Emergencies and disaster can happen anytime. The best way to react to an emergency is to get ready for it before it happens. Trained people can protect themselves and others better. It is essential to ensure that everyone knows what to do when there is an emergency or disruptions, and everyone needs training to become familiar with protection actions for life safety. The effects of emergency can be devastated. People can be hurt and people can die. Of course, we can prepare for all possibilities and we can't even prevent every incident, but planning enables to get a head start on most of them so we can minimize their effect on people. Fire safety drill. Why is it important? Every school, regardless of its size, need to carry out fire drills on a regular basis, as it will help student and teacher know what to do and not to do during a fire. The next is Personal Emergency Evacuation Plan, or the what's so called PEEP. In order to assist disabled or sensory impaired people to escape from fire, it may also be necessary for students to be trained in the correct procedure to cope with this eventually. Advice on the specific needs of disabled and sensory impaired people can be obtained from organizations presenting the various groups. The PEEP is a bespoke or the escape plan for individuals who may have difficulties evacuating a building to a total place of safety whose support or assistance from others. The PEEP allows for the mobility impaired person and the required ECO member to jointly complete the form to ensure that all necessary information is readily available for an emergency evacuation. The last but not the least is liaison with emergency services. The fire marshal should arrange all the necessary contacts with external emergency services and make them familiar with the school's fire emergency and action plan. He will be the one to meet the fire and rescue service when they arrive to provide them with any information they required. Now, when we say liaison, it is a person who helps organizations or groups to work together and provide information to each other. A fire marshal is primarily responsible for the identification of potential fire hazards in a building. They also has the responsibility for ensuring that all people in a building lives quickly and safely when a fire occurs. Further, the marshal also have a duty that the area around the building is safe. The role of the fire marshal is first and foremost to prevent fire at the workplace. And that would be all. I hope that you learned something from my report. Thank you and God bless.